Hello everyone, my name is Val and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll show you my new PPT lesson, Birds, designed for grade 4 or 5 students. In this ready-to-go ESL lesson, students learn to say, pronounce and identify 6 birds: toucan, ostrich, magpie, swift, peacock and owl. Remember to describe each bird in more than one sentence. Learn to draw a bird from the word bird and practice simple dialogue with a fun and exciting game. This PPT lesson is available for sale in my stores on Teachers Pay Teachers and Shopify. Yes, you heard it right. I have launched a new online store. Unlike my store at Teachers Pay Teachers, this new platform requires no registration to shop. No more extra steps and time spent on registration. Now you have 2 options: Teachers Pay Teachers and Shopify. Some teachers say that their schools only allow them to buy from Teachers Pay Teachers. So if you are one of those teachers or are simply used to Teachers Pay Teachers store, keep shopping there. If you are new here or it makes no difference to you, please go to my Shopify store to buy today's lesson or any other lessons you like. I'll leave all the links in the description below the video. Before you watch the walkthrough, I'd like to mention that today's video was brought to you by my sponsor, CZUR. CZUR offers an incredible range of multifunctional 3-in-1 document cameras, perfect for teachers and office workers alike. These are not just any ordinary devices. They are webcams, document cameras, and scanners all rolled into one, ensuring that your workspace is not just efficient, but also clutter-free. Whether you're scanning a book, conducting a virtual class, or in a web conference, CZUR has got you covered. Be sure to check out the link in the description box below to explore their one-of-the-kind 3-in-1 4K document camera Fancy S Pro. And don't forget to use the discount code to enjoy a 10% discount on your purchase. And now let's jump into the walkthrough. Let's take a good look at this PowerPoint lesson. Birds. Well, the first thing you want to do is to split your class into 2 teams. Team A or Team B, boys versus girls, or Team Ice Cream versus Team Gelato. Up to you. Then I usually go through the rules. I think class rules are really important for classroom management and for your overall classroom morale. So the way I do it in higher grades, I ask them the question, what is rule number 1? And the whole class is supposed to say, rule number 1 is be quiet. And then I say, what is rule number 2? And the whole class says, rule number 2 is listen to the teacher. And we proceed until we complete saying out all the rules in the classroom. Then you need to make sure that every student has a pencil and notebook ready. This slide is for the teacher. In higher grades, I want my students to take notes. I think it's really, really important for your students to take notes so they can use these notes to prepare for the oral exam or just review for the next class. So make sure every kid in your class has a notebook and pencil ready. And now let's learn. So this is the first slide in the lesson, and you can read it to your students. You can say there are many beautiful and colorful birds in the world. Some are big and some are small. Let's learn more about them. On the next slide, you're going to retrieve what they already know from your students. Yeah, you're going to connect to their background knowledge. This slide shows you what they know and what they don't. You can tell them that birds are a large group of animals. All birds have 2 legs, wings, feathers, a beak, and they lay eggs. And then you just ask them, what is number 1? And then they can raise their hands to answer. Number 1 is leg. What is number 2? Number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And this way you can see which words they're familiar with and which words need some work. Next one, it's a fun activity. Ask your students, can you draw a bird? Most probably they're gonna say, yes, we can draw a bird. You can even invite a student from each team to draw a bird on the board, and then you compare these 2 birds to see who did a good job. And then you ask the next question, can you draw a bird from the word bird? And you can write down the word bird on the blackboard. And this is going to be a little bit trickier for your students because I don't think they can draw a bird from the word bird. And this is where you teach them. When you click next, there's going to be a video which is going to show you how to do that. There we go. I'll show you a little bit. Okay, in this part you introduce 6 birds to your students. As you can see here, first you don't show the word to your students, you try to see if they already know it. If nobody knows it, then yes, you can click next, reveal the word, and tell them that it's a toucan. And then you can read it together. Here in this part you can employ different reading techniques. I have quite a few videos on my channel about how to teach reading in class. Make sure you go to the playlist called Tutorials for ESL Teachers, and you're gonna see all these videos there. So yeah, students can take turns to read the sentences, or you can do some group reading, you can do some ear reading, radio reading. It's really up to you how you want to do it. Okay, so let's go quickly through these 6 birds. So these big birds are ostriches. There we go. We have ostriches, we have peacocks, we have, what is it? Magpies. Also, when you see this in the PowerPoint, it's a hyperlink, yeah? So here we're talking about the mirror test. It's when a bird can see itself in a mirror and understand that it's a reflection. If you click on this link, is going to take you to the slide which explains the word reflection. It's a difficult word. Here I wrote the explanation in English. Reflection means giving back an image in very simple terms, but you can replace my explanation with a translation in your language. And when you click back, you return to the slide you came from. Okay, next bird would be swifts. It's one of my favorite birds. It's one of the fastest birds on earth. It's my favorite because I think it's a hero, you know, because like they sleep in the air, they drink in the air, you know, they eat in the air, and they spend pretty much all their life in the air, you know. It's quite a deed, if you ask me. All right, next bird would be an owl. Really cool birds, and this passage ends with the sentence, many owls can fly without making a sound. You can even turn it into a game. You can say like, do you know how difficult it is to move without making a sound? You want to try to stand up without making a sound. So give them some time to prepare and then ask them to stand up without making a sound. And also ask your students to listen to each other to see if they can do it. I do it in my classes. I guarantee you they're like elephants. When they stand up, there's a lot of noise, and then they realize that it's really difficult not to make a sound. And we people are noisy. We're loud. We make, I don't know, big sounds, loud sounds, right? So it's a good example to illustrate it in your class. And it's fun. It also brings an element of surprise in this quite monotonous task if they need to read it. But again, there are 6 birds, and you can vary techniques to read about these 6 birds. That's why make sure watch my videos on how to teach reading in class to see what techniques I apply in my classes. All right, and now game time. The game we're gonna play is called Flyswatter. I actually have a video on how to play this game on my channel. I'm going to leave a link to this video in the description below. So if you want to watch how to play this game, just read the description and click the link and watch it. But I'm going to explain it here really quickly. So you need to draw a fly on the board. If you don't know how to draw a fly, you can just put a flashcard of the fly on the board. Then you invite a student from each team to stand, 2 meters in front of the board holding Flyswatters. They should face the blackboard and they cannot see the computer monitor with slides. All sitting students here, watch the PPT slides and say the words. So for example, they see a slide and they should say read. They see the next one, they say sing, the next one dance. But when students see a fly on the PowerPoint or on the overhead projector, they should shout fly, and the students at the blackboard here, they should hit the fly with their Flyswatters. The first to do so gets 2 points for their team. It's a very exciting game, and students love it. And the purpose of this game is to drill vocabulary, practice vocabulary. So the whole class shouts the words, it's good vocabulary practice. So here are the slides. I'm going to go quickly through them. As you can see, we are drilling the bird names. There we go. Here we go. Okay. Next game is called Make a Sentence. Here's an example. Show it to your students. So they need to unscramble this sentence, and they have 40 seconds to do that. If they can do it within 40 seconds, they get 1 point or 2 points. It's really up to you. This one is very easy. It's simple. So I think you have guessed it. It says I love English because my teacher is cool. So this was an example. Now you try. So you invite one student from each team to stand up, and they need to say this sentence out loud. Whoever says it first gets a point. Or you can make it more challenging to your students. You can invite 2 students to go to the blackboard and write the sentence down. It's gonna take a little bit more time, but this way you can check their handwriting skills and punctuation skills. So here's the correct sentence. Yeah, here we go, and I'll show you a few more. This is also a very useful activity because it gets them practice sentence writing or sentence structure, so I love this activity a lot. I think it's very useful. There we go. All right. And game time. We finished this very interesting lesson with game time. This is a bomb game, or I think, no, it's not a bomb game, it's Minefield. Well, I call it bomb game because students like bomb games, anything that explodes. But it's not exactly a bomb game, and you will see why. So you're gonna split your class into 2 teams, as always. Then you're gonna invite 2 students from each team to act out or just say the dialogue. They must say at least 3 sentences. And then you pick a square for points, yeah? If they pick a bomb, their team loses 5 points. So here's the dialogue that I want them to practice. What can you tell me about toucans? And remember, they need to say at least 3 sentences. So if they paid attention during the class, they'd be able to do that. So they can say toucans live in rainforests, they have big colorful beaks, they use their beaks to pick fruit from trees. Or for example, what can you tell me about magpies? And they can say magpies are large birds, they have long tails, they're very clever birds. These sentences are simple, but they still work. And after they said the dialogue, they can pick up a square for points. So, as I said, it's not exactly a bomb game, it's a point tracker or point collector. So, and this is also like a part where you can teach some extra language. You can teach them, for example, which square do you pick? Which square do you pick? And they should say, I pick, for example, 2B. You click on 2B. Woohoo! They have 5 points. That's very lucky. That's really cool. Okay, good job, you guys. Please sit down. And then the next team comes or stands up. I mean, 2 students from the other team. Yeah, and they say the dialogue. What do you think about, let's say, owls? Yeah, so owls stay up late. Owls can move without making a sound. Owls have very soft feathers. Excellent, well done. Which square do you pick? I pick D3. Oh, 1 point, but that's not bad. Well done. And here we go. Oh, D1 is a bomb. Uh-oh, I'm sorry. You lose 5 points. Well, I think you get the idea. And at the end of the class, like, this is optional, of course, but I think it's super useful. I think you need to ask your students to copy these sentences into their notebooks for future reviews, for exams. It's just a summary of your class, yeah? So always leave a few minutes before the end of the class so they can copy the sentences in their notebooks. But again, if you're teaching just an oral class, you can skip this part. And this is it. Voila! This is how you teach the lesson birds. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell icon to turn the notifications on. This way you will never miss a single upload and help your fellow teacher grow his channel. And also, you'll make me happy. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!